So welcome, my friends, to another edition of No Better Time to Sing, subtitle Twilight and Lullabies. And this second thing that we do the first and third Thursdays. And Twilight and Lullabies was just an intention of having something very simple and gentle and just peaceful, and a way to close out the evening together. And I love it. I just love doing this program. Tonight, I'm especially happy that we are going to have with us Lior. Oh, Lior, I meant to ask you how to pronounce your last name, and I forgot. Would you please say it for me?
Tsarfaty.
Thank you. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to mess it up. Lior Tsarfaty, and I know a lot of you know Lior. He sings on Jennifer Barazen's evenings a lot, and some of you go to those. And he has his own evening on Tuesdays that maybe he'll tell you about. And we're going to put his contact info in the chat later, so that if you want to get on his list and so forth, you can. But anyway, really thrilled to have Lior tonight. And when he and I planned for him to come, we had, of course, no idea what was going to be going on in Israel and Gaza. And what a blessing that Lior is here tonight, and we'll just share beautiful songs. You'll see. I won't say any more. You'll find out. So it's our traditional opening song for Twilight and Lullabies. So let's take a deep breath. Oh, let your body sink a little deeper into whatever surface you're sitting on. Maybe close your eyes for just a minute. And feel how the energies of the day are winding down. Mine are, yours are. Over here in California, the birds have gotten quieter now. The breeze has died down. Some of you are where it's already dark. It's time to just lay the day down, put it to rest. So sing with me. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Lay it down. Your every burden, evening shadows gather round. Come sweet night and gentle darkness, day is done, lay it down. Let's do that again. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Lay it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Lay it down, your every burden. Evening shadows gather round. Come sweet night and gentle darkness. Day is done. Lay it down. Come sweet night. Come sweet night and gentle darkness, day is done. Lay it down, let it rest, let it rest, lay it down. I think, like all of you, primary on my mind this week has been the situation between Israel and Gaza. And I heard Lior just told me there has been a ceasefire, and I'm so relieved. I'm actually in the middle of a silent retreat, so I haven't been following the news, which has been a blessing. But the focus tonight for me very much is prayers for peace and an understanding of suffering and the suffering that all experience, whether it's wars of aggression or so-called internecine civil wars. There are no winners in a war. We know that. So I'm drawing on a couple of different sources of songs, and this one is one that we all know. I've been singing it since childhood, usually in a very rousing way. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. But I heard a different version of it this week that was much slower and more relaxed, and I felt like for tonight, given that my heart feels a little tender, maybe yours, that I want to do it a little bit differently. So we're going to slow it down and just let it swing a little bit, have a little more swing to it. So sing it the way you like to sing it. Don't worry about how I do it, because I'm going to do it a little different than you. And here's how I'm starting to do it right now. And it also talks about laying down burdens. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I also got to writing some verses that felt like what I wanted to say about this week, so I'm gonna throw them in too. Some old lines, some new lines. Gonna lay down my sword and shield, sing it out, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna kneel down on the battlefield, down by the riverside. Study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. So I did see that chat. Sounds like I'm still breaking up a bit, having some static.
Yep.
Now, I have changed to no sound system, and it's just me. It's not going to sound as nice, but it may get rid of the static. Let me know, all right? Okay. Oh man, I was in such a groove then. Ooh, now let's relax and get back into that. I was loving that. Ooh. It's kind of neat to take an old song and do something new with it. It kind of wakes it up again, like it's not rote, you know? All right, gonna lay down my starry crown. Gonna lay down my starry crown down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Stay right here with my feet on the ground, down by the riverside. Study war no more. Let's keep going. Gonna sing and pray and work for peace down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Won't stop till every soul's released, down by the riverside. Study war no more, 'cause I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. No, no, study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I was thinking about that down by the riverside, and I was wondering, because this song goes way back into African American roots, way back to probably the times of slavery, and how rivers were so important to escaping slaves. They were important being sold down the river. Sometimes they went down the river in captivity, but sometimes they crossed that river into freedom. So I just wonder if they lay down their burden by the riverside as they get on board to go across to freedom. I like to think that might be part of it. Here we go. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside and study war no more. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna study war no more. 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 Ain't gonna study no war no more. No more. No more. Thank you. So, yeah. And I was thinking about burden, and I was thinking about the burden of being a first world nation who sells arms to countries that use them so indiscriminately. I mean, to be the arms tradesman of the world, which is what America is, that's a heavy burden. It's a burden on my heart, but it's got to be a burden on the hearts of those who are making those decisions. You know that phrase, how can they sleep at night? Think about that. Think about that. Now I'm very quiet. Thank you for telling me. I know what I have to do. There is a solution here. Well, actually, I was pretty far up. Yeah. You'll have to turn your own device up. I'm up as high as I can go. So, the Buddha talked about, taught the 5 precepts of mindful living and ethical living, not harming and so forth. And he talked about the bliss of blamelessness, the joy of not doing harm. And I feel like the bliss of blamelessness and the burden of evil doing, which would you rather have, So anyway, so I want to read a poem that I love very, very much. I've read it before and I wanted to read it again because one of the contexts for what's going on with Palestine is the loss of people's homes, the way that whole towns and streets and villages are just evicted, and the loss of home. And we're going to sing about that in a minute. But this poem came back to me so beautiful by Fadi Judah called Mimesis. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Okay, here we go. My daughter wouldn't hurt a spider that had nested between her bicycle handles for 2 weeks. She waited until it left of its own accord. If you tear down the web, I said, it will simply know this isn't a place to call home. and you'd get to go biking. She said, that's how others become refugees, isn't it? This song has been haunting me for a few years since I first heard it. The more I listen to it, the more it moves me. It's by Eliza Gilkinson. How many of you have heard of Eliza Gilkinson? She is not nearly as well known as she should be. She is a magnificent songwriter and singer, and she writes about important things in an extremely poetic way. So she's great, and we're going to put a link to some of her music in the chat so that you can find it. This is called Once I Had a Home, and it took me a few listens to really get what it was about. It is about the loss of home, but when she mentions olive trees, I figured pretty clearly I knew what part of the world she was talking about. So it's in your, the chorus is in your lyrics. I'll do the verses on my own. Once I had a home, I still have the key. I take it everywhere I go to prove that all I've said is so, and all the world can see. The walls were painted blue, the front door carved by hand, and generations of my kin and strangers all were welcomed in when they walked upon my land. Pray for us all, and the nameless, the fallen, the faceless, forgotten. Once I had a home. Let's sing that together. Pray for us all, and the nameless, the fallen, the faceless, forgotten. Once I had a home. Olive trees once grew where mounds of rubble stand. A man can feel himself a king when water flows from well and spring, and peaceful is the land. Pray for us all. Pray for us all, and the nameless, the fallen, the faceless, forgotten. Once I had a home. The stars shine down on bone and skin, on wire and walls that hold us in, on roads that can't lead home again. Pray for us all, the nameless, the fallen, faces forgotten. Pray for the fallen, all the world watching. Pray for us all, all the world watching. And it is extraordinarily complex, isn't it? Because, of course, the Jewish people had no homeland for centuries and centuries, and were not welcome in so many places. It's a tragic, it's just heart-wrenching how the need for home, the longing for home, ends up in such destruction of home. I was very moved by what Trevor Noah did with this. I'm a big fan of his. He's very funny, he's very sharp, and he's very moral. And twice I've seen him go on and not be funny and be completely serious. The first time was after the George Floyd murder, did an extraordinary personal soliloquy. And this last week, he did a really wonderful job, I thought, with the complexity of this issue. And he landed where he landed. It may not be where others land, but I was very impressed with what he tried to accomplish. So we are now going to have our time of meditation and prayer. Actually, this is more of a prayer time. I invited you to bring candles, particularly tonight, to light for all who are suffering in Israel and in Palestine and Gaza. If you brought a candle and you'd like to, hold it up to your window for a moment so we can shine our lights together. And Marianne, if you can get this on gallery, that would be lovely. So many beautiful candles people bring, all kinds. And if you don't have one tonight, this one is for everybody. And it sits right behind me with the sleeping Buddha, the Buddha at rest. I'm so glad to know the Buddha rested. You know, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. A friend of mine who's an extremely powerful activist rewrote that once to say, we who believe in freedom now must rest. I think those are a good balance. So with our candles, my friends, let's again close our eyes if you wish, or look down, soften your gaze. And breathe back into the space of pray for us all. The nameless, the fallen, the forgotten, the homeless. And of course, we know there are probably other regions of the world we could be singing about. There's Yemen. There's the children who lived in cages, the immigrant children. There's so much we could talk about and pray about. But let us just bring our hearts to a place of prayerful, thoughtful, heartful compassion. For all beings who are suffering. Especially thinking of the children in Israel and in Gaza and Palestine, We'll be singing a lullaby later for them. But we've all been children. We all know what it is like to be so frightened. So just breathing into our hearts, seeing what prayers, what wishes rise up in you. What is your deepest wish for humanity, especially those in war? And just simply sending love. Sending love is very powerful. You know, that part of the wider prayer I feel is that prayer that I can be more effective in my own country to join with those who are trying to reduce the military budget, trying to put accountability into our bloated military budget. There's real work going on this right now. Thank you to everyone who's working on this. Allow yourself a deep breath and a deep sigh. It's a lot to hold. It's a burden. It's a big burden to let all this in and sometimes feel very powerless. So breathe it out. Let it go. And if you feel so moved, no pressure at all, and don't let this distract you from being present, because right now Lior is going to come on and offer his beautiful healing. If there's a prayer you particularly would like to share, go ahead and put it in the chat. And but let's not all start looking at the chat. It'll be there. It'll be there. Oh, so Lior, I want to warmly welcome you. Lior has been making music for a long time in various contexts. He has a project that is so wonderful where he's trained lots of musicians to develop a beautiful repertoire of songs for elders. And they go into retirement homes, assisted care living, etc., and do programs. And Lior, I have a funny story to tell you. I told my partner David about you. And he said, "Oh, I wonder if that was that guy that was in Silverado, where my mother-in-law, David's partner, spent the last happy years of her life." He said, "There was this guy." He said, "This kind of skinny guy, and he was like moving around, and he was getting them all moving, and he was great." I said, I bet that was Lior."
Probably was me, yes.
So I know there's so much more that you do, but anyway. No talking, please, music, and whatever talking you want to do. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Mm. Thank you, Betsy. Wow, I needed that just for myself. I've been, is that noise coming from me? No. Okay. Thank you. I've been noticing on my own personal life how much I've been holding, and for everybody, I think, Betsy, you're such a kind of a force of nature of bringing people who believe in peace together, and what a burden it is sometimes to stand in front of people and to sing your song. Yeah? And so thank you for creating some space of rest and nourishment for that. I also have a funny story to tell about you, Betsy, that somewhere 15 years ago, I came to visit my sister who used to live here. And she told me, let's go to this concert in a Buddhist monastery somewhere in Berkeley. And I was just wearing my Tel Avivian flip-flops. And I don't think I've ever been to a Buddhist monastery 15 years ago in my 20s. And I got there and it was you. And I think it was you and Jennifer Berzen singing together. And until today, I was very touched by that offering of mindfulness and love and compassion and activism in music. And you've been doing that for so many years. So for me personally, you are kind of a source of inspiration. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much, Lior. That's beautiful.
So I start with I'll talk a little bit later, but I think we'll continue from this deep place that Betsy took us, a prayer for peace. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום על כולנו, עוד יבוא שלום. יא סלאם עליכום חביבי, יא סלאם עליכום, עליכום סלאם חביבי, עליכום סלאם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום על כולנו, עוד יבוא שלום. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום. יא סלאם עליכום חביבי, יא סלאם עליכום, סלאם עליכום חביבי, עליכום סלאם. May we live in peace together, all of us as one. May we live in peace together, all of us as one. May we live in peace together, all of us as one. May we live in peace together, all of us as one. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, יא סלאם עליכום חביבי, עליכום סלאם. עוד יבוא שלום על כולנו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום.
Oh, oh, thank you. Oh.
you want to take over, Betsy? Should I keep going?
Oh,
Keep
no,
going. Keep
not
going.
at all.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no,
good.
I did not. I just wanted to thank you. No, I'm
Okay,
done.
good, good,
I'm going
good.
back on.
Okay, good, good. Um, um, Thank you. I'm really happy to be here and really relieved and happy that today finally they were able to go into ceasefire. And I want to also sing for today and pray for today for all the peacemakers in Israel and Palestine. For some reason, you don't see them in the news so much, but there's thousands of people standing in Jaffa and Accra and Haifa and all those what they call mixed cities in Israel, which have a lot of Arabs and a lot of Jews living together. And they're standing in the junctions of highways with signs that saying, we refuse, Jews and Arabs refuse to be enemies. And it's maybe easier to do it here in Berkeley when we're standing in the corner of Solano and something, but there it's a real danger because the forces of not wanting that to happen are very violent, and so people are kind of standing and with that sign, and they're alert, they're looking to the right and to the left all the time, kind of with an open, hopeful, broken heart. So I think let's sing for them. How about that? I'll sing one in English that has, some of you might know it. It's called That Breath by Rumi. And it's a song that basically tells the whole story. And it goes like this. I'm not a Christian or a Jew. I'm not a Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi or Zen. Not any religion. I'm not from the east or from the west, not out of the ocean or up from the ground. I do not exist, I do not exist, I do not exist. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless, neither body or soul. I belong to the beloved. I've seen the two worlds as one, and that one I call to and know. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath. Breathing human being, sing this part with me. First, last, outer, inner, I'm only that breath. Breathing human being. Maybe we can sing this part together. It goes like this. Dea, try it. Dea, 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 Dea. I'm not a Christian or a Jew. I'm not a Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi or Zen. Not any religion. I'm not from the east or from the west, not out of the ocean or up from the ground. I do not exist, I do not exist, I do not exist. My place is the placeless. I'm a trace of the traceless, neither body or soul. I belong to the beloved. I've seen the two worlds as one, and that one I call to and know. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath. Breathing human being. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath, breathing human being. First, last, sing it with me. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath, breathing human being. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath, breathing human being. Taking all your beautiful wishes and voices and hearts and sending it to the peacemakers where I came from, where I was born, in Israel and Palestine, in the West Bank and Gaza. There's more and more and more of them, of us. So thank you for your prayers.
Thank you so much for that song. You know, I've heard that several times, Lior, and it's just amazing how something so ancient and universal can feel so specific to this moment. You know what I mean? That's just, to me, the power of art, you know? It just speaks again and again and again. And I'm very grateful for that song. I'm kind of choked up, so I'm going to go off mic.
Okay. Thank you. A couple of, let's see, right before COVID, I was about to release the CD called I Am You, or in Hebrew, Anihu, or in Arabic, Anahua. And it was a collaboration of about 40 musicians from Israel, Palestine, the US, and Canadians. I know there's Canadians here. The idea of it, the structure of it, was inspired by our good friend, Jennifer Berezan, of creating a long chant that goes for a long time, and people can improvise on top of that. And in this one, there's about 20 Israelis and 20 Palestinians from all over that region singing together, I am the other and the other is me. Kids choir, hip-hop artists, sheikhs and rabbis, and people from all, really, walks of life standing together and singing, we are the other and the other is me. So I don't think we have a full hour to sing it, but maybe we'll do a little kind of a feeling of it. And I invite you to sing the chant that repeats itself. And the chant is Ani Hu. Let's say it together. Ani Hu, that means I am the other in Hebrew. And Hua Ana would be the Arabic version. Hua Ana. And as you know, in Hebrew and in Arabic, everything is either masculine or feminine, all the words. So we say Ani Hi for a feminine, for a woman. Ani Hi. Woman or whoever is identifying as a she, and Hua Ana, which is I am her. It sounds complicated. Once we start singing it, you'll get it. Yeah. And thank you so much again, Betsy, for having me here with you. This is a real treat. מקרוב מעבר לפינה ממעמקים מהלא נודע מנפשי נפשי מסיפורי חיי ממסתורי אני הגעתי לכאן From the silence of the desert to the walls of shattered dreams, from the stories of my life, a winding stream, my spirit longing for this broken land. I have arrived. Here I am. Anihu, Anihu. Hua ana, hua ana, hua ana. Hi ani, hi ani. That's right, you can move a little bit if you like. I see some of you are moving. Hi ana, hi ana. Anihu, anihu. Hua ana, hua ana, hua ana. Hi ani, hi ani, hi ani. Hiya ana, hiya ana, hiya ana. I am you, I am you, I am you. You are me, you are me, you are me. I am you, I am you. Oh, hua ana, hua ana. Hi ani, hi ani. I am her, she's me. I am you, I am you. They are us. We are them, we are them. Anihu, you can choose your part and sing it and sing it. I am you. You are me. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, שלום, שלום. May we live in peace together, may we live in peace. May we live in peace together. May we live in peace. Salam, salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Salam, salam al kulanu. Alaikum salam. May we live in peace together, all of us as one, in Israel and Palestine and all over the world. May we live as one. May we live in peace together. May we live shalom together. May we live salam. Thank you everybody for having me. Thank you Betsy so much. What an honor for me to be here and to sing with you. Keep praying for peace. I know I will. Thank you for all your good hearts and smiles and love.
Why don't we unmute and give Lior back the love in whatever way you like.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow.
Thank you all.
Lior.
It was beautiful. Thank you
Shalom,
so
shalom.
much.
Wonderful.
Shalom. Lovely.
Thank you, everybody.
Truly.
Beautifully done.
Just what we needed tonight. And oh my goodness, I am you, you are me, we are they are us. Yes, thank you. All right, Lior, please, folks, look him up. We've put some links in the chat. Tuesday nights, he does this and more. Just bask in the beauty of Lior's music and his spirit, his beautiful, amazing spirit. You are truly a healer, and we'll do more of this. We'll do more of this. So, wow. Okay, so I'm going to do a typical Betsy thing, which is jam in more songs than I have time for. This is my great weakness. A lot of you who come know that we usually run about 5 minutes over, but this song, I'm so in love. It's another Liza Gilkis song. I just binged on her this week. I could not get enough, and this one is just so cool. It is upbeat. This is our only upbeat song tonight. We got to have one. And it's called Peace in Our Hearts, and there's a rockin' version of it on YouTube. So it's in your lyrics, and if all you do is sing the line with peace in our hearts, which comes around a whole lot, that is totally sufficient. Gonna walk together arm in arm with peace in our hearts. Gonna walk together arm in arm with peace in our hearts. Gonna walk together arm in arm so our sisters and brothers won't come to any harm. And we know we got peace in our hearts. Let's all sing that last line. And we know we've got peace in our hearts. Gonna walk with every color and tribe with peace, peace in our hearts. Sing it. Gonna walk with every color and tribe with peace in our hearts. Gonna walk with every color and tribe, 'cause we're stronger together when we're on the same side. We know we got peace in our hearts, and we know we got peace in our hearts. A good song to move to. Gonna stand for the earth and children too, with peace in our hearts. Let's sing that. Gonna stand for the earth and our children too, with peace in our hearts. Gonna stand for the earth and our children too. It'll take everyone to make our dreams come true. And we know we got peace in our hearts. What do we know? Oh, we know we got peace in our hearts. Liza Gilkison wrote this during the 4 years we have just come out of, and addressing the turmoil and the pain and the confusion and the violence that has been haunting this country. Gonna stare in the face of the hateful mind with peace in our hearts. Gonna stare into the face of the hateful mind with peace in our hearts. Gonna stare into the face the hateful mind, 'cause all we gotta do is let our love light shine. We know we've got peace in our hearts. Are we sure we know it? And we know we got peace in our hearts. Let's sing it louder so everybody knows. And we know we got peace in our hearts. To all those protesting in Jerusalem and Israel and Palestine and Gaza, all the peacemakers, we know we got peace in our hearts. We know you do too. And we know we got peace in our hearts. Yeah, I needed that. I bet you did too. Okay, so I promised, this is Twilight and Lullabies, and I promised we would have a lullaby. And I thought maybe I would write a lullaby for this evening because I, as a mom, and even if I wasn't a mom, just thinking about what lullabies were sung to ideally help children feel safe and protected, encourage them through the night. Sleep, my child, may dreams attend thee all through the night. Angels watching over you. Yeah. How do you sing a lullaby to a child who's got bombs falling around them? What do you say? What possible comfort could you put into words? I couldn't come up with anything. I wanted to write a lullaby for a child who's in actual danger, but I couldn't. I couldn't find it. And I thought about how many lullabies are actually rather cruel. Like Rockabye Baby, like when the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Not very reassuring for a little one. And then there's a one that's so poignant of Hush Little Baby, Mama, oh God, that one about Hushabye, don't you cry, go to sleep, you little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses. Well, the original version of that had a verse about the poor little baby sleeping down in the fields and the birds are coming and biting out its eyes. And the research that's been done says that it was an African American song, that this probably was a woman who was enslaved and was singing to the owner's children. And she was referencing her little baby who was left untended somewhere because she had to be with these other children. So, there's a lot of tragedy in mothers' lives. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of fear. It is thought that when the bough breaks and so forth was expressing a mother's fear of crib death, of the sudden loss of a baby. And, back in the day, babies were very fragile and women lost a lot of babies. So I just felt like, there's a long tradition in lullabies of acknowledging the pain and the fear of love and of dependency. So I decided, why don't we just sing a very familiar lullaby? We all know it. We've sung it before. It's not dark, exactly. It's not a dark lullaby, but it completely acknowledges that everything gets broken, that everything is impermanent, another great teaching of the Buddha. And that you fall in love with that little billy goat, it may not work out. You fall in love with that dog, it may not work out. But the beautiful thing about this lullaby is that at the end, it always ends with love. At the end of the day, you may lose everything, but you aren't going to lose the love. So hush, little baby, don't say a word. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that looking glass gets broke, Mama's gonna buy you a billy goat. And if that billy goat won't pull, Mama's gonna buy you a cart and bull. And if that cart and bull turn over, Mama's gonna buy you a dog named Rover. If that dog named Rover won't bark, Mama's gonna buy you a horse and cart. And if that horse and cart fall down, you'll still be the sweetest little baby in town. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Lior had to leave, I believe, because he's got 2 kids at home that he needs to be supervising. But I want to say before any more people leave about donations. This is a donation-based event. If this was a live concert, you'd all come in the door and there'd be a little basket or something. So I really hope that you'll find it in you to make a donation tonight. And you can do it on PayPal, and Marianne's going to put that in the chat. You can also do by snail mail. She's going to put that in too. The donations tonight go to Lior. Musicians support themselves with this work, and you know the rug got pulled out from performers with COVID, and it's been rough. So anything you can do is just so appreciated. And also, I also want to mention Jennifer Bereson's here tonight. Thank you, Jennifer, for the advice about the headphones. She suggested I unplug the headphones. Did that help? How's it going now? Good.
Yeah,
So maybe
much better.
the headphones were the problem. Thank you. Jennifer has a beautiful Monday night series. A lot of you know it, I'm sure, but you can go to edgeofwonder.com and find out how to sign up to go to her Monday nights where Lior sings often. So we're all a big family here, just trying to keep us all going during this time. So your donations are so welcome. And I also want to mention some upcoming events. I've got some great stuff coming up. June, the first Thursday in June, we're going to do a retrospective. It's the 1 year anniversary of when we started this series. And we're going to sing songs from last year, songs that we sang especially for the events of the year, whether it was the George Floyd murder, whether it was Trump, whether it was COVID, and so much more. And just kind of visit the year together. The second, and then the third Thursday, usually is going to be Twilight and Lullabies, but I'm tweaking it a little bit to celebrate Juneteenth. If you don't know what Juneteenth is, come and find out. It's a very important holiday to African American people because it is when people in Texas who were enslaved heard that slavery had ended, which was a couple of years at least after the Civil War. The news did not get to them. I bet that was no accident. And so the day they were liberated, June 15th, was a big day in Texas for those African Americans. So my guests are none other than Melanie DeMore, woo! What huge favorite of ours, and a woman you may not know, Dr. Kim Harris. I knew Kim years ago on the East Coast. Kim and Reggie Harris were a duo, and now she's solo, and she's a professor down in Southern Cal of African American history, I believe, and sociology, and a wonderful singer and historian. So she will give you the lowdown on Juneteenth, and it's well worth coming to find out. So that's going to be June 17th. Then in July, what am I excited about? Oh, no, I know. The end of June, I'm doing a special event. I'm producing a concert, and the other producers are Acapella, the Labor Chorus, Aileen Vance down in Santa Cruz and her chorus, a number of community choruses, all sponsoring this concert with Charlie King from the East Coast and Elise Bryant. They do this wonderful duo show, and when I saw it, it was like, I want my friends to see this. They're both very oriented toward labor and the labor movement and workers' rights. Elise is the director, I think, of the Labor Heritage Foundation, a singer and a storyteller. I hope she does the story that she did last time because it was a knockout. So this is a very special show. I will not be singing. It's not about me, but it's a chance for you to meet two really incredible artists. Charlie came and sang with us at some point back in December, I think, or January. So some of you have met him. He's just one of my favorites, old friends. So upcoming events, very exciting. And then Linda Hirshhorn, I think, is going to join us in July. So we've got a lot to look forward to. All right. Whew. If you want to save the chat, because we really use the chat, as you may have noticed, the thing you do is open your chat, go down to the bottom, there's 3 little dots, hit those dots. The first one says Save Chat. If you're worried you won't be able to find it, the other thing you can do, click on the links in the chat right now. They will open into your browser. You can just store them, somewhere, and then at your leisure you can store those URLs wherever you store things. One way or the other, you don't have to lose this information. Just saying. Phew, I did that fast, didn't I? Okay, now take a breath because we do have one more song.
And Betsy, there's one more step. If you click the 3 dots and it says Save Chat, you also have to click on where it says Save Chat.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Well, I did write a new song for tonight. I wanted a song about loving kindness and metta, and often we've sung a very upbeat one. May you be happy, may you be peaceful. But I felt a little more reflective tonight, a little more quiet, and so I wrote one, and it's a little bigger than the traditional may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be well and at ease, may you be free. Beautiful blessings again from the Buddhist tradition. I expanded a bit for this night, for these times, and for us, our particular.
It wasn't your headphones. The crackling is back.
Oh, phooey. All right, then I'll unplug them. Okay, back we go. Thank you. Okay, do our best. So, you got the lyrics. I'll do it one time and then I'll teach it to you. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe and free. In peace may all beings dwell. Try it with me. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe and free. In peace may all beings be dwell. May all beings have shelter. May all beings have shelter. May all beings breathe deep. May all beings have food every day. May they feel love surround them as they sleep. And then between the time I sent you the lyrics and tonight, I did add a little bit, so I'll do this alone. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so on earth. Sing it with me. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so on earth. May all beings know comfort. May all beings know comfort. May all beings feel blessed. May all burdens be borne with a heart that has weathered the storms and the tests. May all beings be trusting. May all beings be trusting. May all beings be kind. May all beings share. May all beings share all of this earth out beyond what is yours, what is mine. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so on earth. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so on earth. Let's do the first verse. Be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe and free. In peace may all beings dwell. In peace may all Oh, dear ones, thank you so much for being here tonight, joining in the healing, helping us all heal a bit, renew a bit, and just hold something very difficult to hold together. Everything held together is more bearable. It's how burdens can be held. Please do what you can for peace. Write your Congress people about reducing the military budget and questioning their unquestioning support for Israel. For any country, you know, that everything has to be questioned. Life is too precious to just lockstep. So much love, and I'll see you in the first week of June. Bring your memories. We'll probably share some memories together. And if you want to unmute and say goodbye, I'm more than happy to hear your voices. Thank you so much. May it be so.